Hey, I'm Eric. This is the Mug Life. I didn't choose the Mug Life. The Mug Life chose me. Two terms that get thrown around an awful lot in coffee are third wave coffee and specialty coffee. The question is there a difference? First, let's talk a little bit about third wave coffee. Since the 1960s, coffee consumption has grown very, very rapidly. Back then, there were large companies who had been sourcing and roasting coffee and distributing coffee for generations. There wasn't much known about coffee except for the fact that it was, in fact, mostly at least coffee. Things like origin, roast level, varietal, and so on were unheard of. The majority of coffee was consumed at home or in restaurants and diners. Coffee shops, as we know them today, were very few and very far between. Then, in the late 1980s and 1990s, companies like Starbucks, they started to make the coffee shop a more profitable business. They introduced people to things like espresso-based drinks, particularly here in the US, that became more popular. The concept of coffee origin was introduced, and they started to bring more detail into people's daily coffee drinks. And at this point, with a coffee shop near almost everyone's house, or at least on their way to work, people started to consume their coffee outside the home more and more often. This was very definitely what's been come to be known as the second wave of coffee. And like things do, this second wave concept evolved and people became more interested in this magical elixir that they were consuming more and more often. Roasters and cafes, and in turn, consumers started to take note of things like coffee origins, different processing levels, and different processing methods, and they started to chase some of the more complex flavors that are in coffee, sweetness, and things like that. And cafes and even people at home started to use more innovative brewing techniques that highlighted some of these unique flavors. Ideas like direct trade and the importance of everybody in the coffee supply chain, from farmer to barista and consumer, became more and more important to roasters and cafes and the customers. And the result was what is termed third wave coffee. It's an idea with a focus on coffee origin, sourcing, processing, and most importantly, people that go into making coffee. So the phrase third wave is built on ideas and concepts and philosophies and experiences in coffee more than it is on something objective. That's the first, second, and third wave of coffees. So then the question is, what is specialty coffee? Specialty coffee is a lot of things, but in its strictest sense, specialty coffee is a very, very specific, defined quality of coffee. Coffee is tasted and certified by coffee tasters. Yes, there is a job out there called coffee tasters. It's called Q graders. It's definitely a job that does not suck. Coffee's given a score on a 100-point scale. Coffees above 60 points are called commercial grade, and coffees that are above 80 points are considered specialty coffee. So to summarize, specialty coffee is a specific quality of coffee that's given to a specific numerically graded coffee. And third wave coffee, on the other hand, has more to do with experiences and ideas and how the coffee is processed, sourced, and served than it is to a specific numeric quality of coffee. Specialty coffee is most definitely an ingredient, if you will, in third wave coffee, but not all specialty coffee is necessarily third wave. So I hope that clears things up, or maybe it makes things more confusing. I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and above all, be it specialty or third wave or whatever, keep serving coffee that people love.